Hey everyone, it's Naomi. I'm currently in Bangkok, exploring the vibrant streets of this incredible city. Today, I want to take you with me to a special place, one of Bangkok's famous night markets. There's something about night markets that always draws me in. Maybe it's the lively atmosphere, the variety of street food, or simply the chance to see local life up close. As a solo traveler, these markets have a way of making me feel connected to a place, even if I'm just passing through. But there's something more personal that brought me here tonight. I've always been fascinated by the stories of the people who make these markets come alive. The women working here have such resilience and strength, and I wanted to learn more about their lives, their dreams, and what motivates them to work in these bustling markets night after night. So tonight, I decided to visit this market, not just to enjoy the food and atmosphere, but to connect with the people behind the stalls. There's a unique energy here, something you can't experience in the typical tourist spots. The lights, the sounds, the smells, it's all so vibrant and exciting. I can't wait to explore and discover the stories hidden within this market. Let's go explore together. As I walk deeper into the market, the scent of grilled meats and spices intensifies, mixing with the warm, humid air. The sounds, sizzling food, clattering utensils, voices calling out from the stalls, create an atmosphere that feels alive. That's when I see her Pim. She stands behind her stall, her posture strong, her hands moving gracefully as she flips skewers over an open flame. Pim's skin, lightly kissed by the sun, glistens in the heat, but there's a calmness in her every movement. I ask her how long she's been working here. 5 years, she says, her voice calm and steady, as if the market has become a part of her. I took over the stall when my father got sick. As she speaks, I imagine a younger Pim, filled with uncertainty as she first stepped into this bustling market. I wonder if she had to put any of her own dreams on hold when she took over her father's business. But now, there's no hesitation in her movements. Each skewer she flips feels like a part of her routine, like she's mastered every small detail. She's not just working, she's living this life fully. Pim's voice softens as she continues. This market, it's not just a job for me anymore, it's home. I see it in her eyes, the way they flicker over the customers, the other vendors. She's connected to this place, deeply. I wonder if she ever thinks about what her life might have been like if her father hadn't fallen ill. Would she be here? Or somewhere else entirely? But as I watch her, I realize that Pim isn't the type to dwell on what could have been. She's here now, and she's truly made this market a part of her life. Pim's words linger in my mind as I continue walking through the market. The atmosphere here is unlike anything else. The smells, the sounds, the constant movement. Everywhere I look, I see stories waiting to be told. As I move through the narrow pathways, I can't help but think about Pim's quiet strength. She didn't choose this life, yet she's embraced it fully. I wonder how many others here share a similar story. Ahead of me, the lights flicker, casting long shadows over the crowd. The energy of the night market is intoxicating, pulling you deeper into its rhythm. As I round a corner, I spot a small jewelry stall tucked away between two larger ones. The woman behind it is hunched over, carefully arranging delicate necklaces and bracelets. Her name is Rachani. Rachani is older than Pim, probably in her late 40s, with a face that reflects a life well lived. She moves slower, more deliberately, each piece of jewelry handled with the care of someone who has lived through many seasons in this market. I approach her, drawn by the quiet focus she radiates. Her stall is small, but every piece of jewelry shines with an elegance that feels timeless. I ask her how long she's been selling jewelry here. 20 years, she says, her voice soft but steady. Before that, I worked with my husband in another part of the market. There's a pause, and I sense there's more to her story. Rachani looks down at the necklace she's holding, her fingers brushing the delicate chain. My husband passed away 10 years ago, she says quietly, not meeting my eyes. For a moment, there's only the sound of the market around us, the hum of voices, the occasional clink of jewelry as she continues to arrange the pieces. But there's a strength in her, too. She's been here for 20 years, through loss and change, and yet she remains, a constant presence in the shifting tides of the market. I wonder what keeps her here. Is it the memory of her husband, the connection to this market, this community? Or maybe, like Pim, this place has simply become home. Rachani looks up at me, her expression soft but strong. This market, it's where I belong, she says. Rachani's words echo in my mind as I step away from her stall. I can't help but notice how each woman here, Pim, Rachani, has carved out a life for herself in this market. It's not just about survival, it's about belonging. As I weave my way through the crowd, the energy of the market shifts around me. The lights are brighter here, the air thick with the smell of fried foods, and the laughter of groups gathered around food stalls fills the air. I find myself drawn to another stall, this one lined with colorful paper lanterns that seem to glow from within. The stall keeper is a younger woman, probably in her 20s, with bright eyes that sparkle in the light of the lanterns. Her name is Anong. She's different from Pim and Rachani. Her energy is lighter, her movements quick and playful. As she adjusts the lanterns, her hands move with the enthusiasm of someone who is still new to the market, eager to prove herself. I ask her how long she's been working here. Just a year, she says, her voice bubbling with excitement. I came to Bangkok to study, but I needed to make some extra money, so I started working here. Her face lights up as she talks about her dreams. I want to be a designer someday, she says, gesturing to the lanterns around her. These lanterns, they're just the beginning. I want to create things that bring light to people's lives. There's a youthful optimism in her words, a spark of ambition. I find myself wondering how much of this market will shape her, how much of its rhythm will become part of her. Will she, too, look back years from now and call this place home? As I listen to her, I realize that Anung represents something different. Where Pim and Rachini have built lives rooted in this market, Anung sees it as a stepping stone. She's here for now, but her dreams stretch far beyond these stalls. I can't help but smile at her energy, her vision for the future. It's a reminder that even in a place as constant as this market, there's always room for change, for new dreams. As I leave Anung's stall, I feel the weight of the night settling in. The market is still alive, still buzzing with energy, but there's a shift in the air. It's quieter now, the laughter softer, the footsteps slower. As I walk away, I think about the women I've met tonight. Pim, who took on a life she didn't choose but has embraced fully. Rachini, who has endured loss and change but remains a constant presence. And Anung, whose dreams stretch far beyond the lights of this market. Each of them tied to this market in their own way. Each of their stories contributes to the vibrant energy that makes this place so special. As I leave the market behind me, I can't shake the stories of the women I've met tonight. Their resilience, their dreams, and their deep connection to this place linger in my thoughts. But it's not just their personal stories that make this market so alive. There's something more, something rooted in the very culture and history of this city. I begin to think about the market itself, about how it has evolved over time. It's not just a place to buy food or trinkets, it's a reflection of Bangkok's past and present. Night markets like this one have been part of Thai culture for generations. They began as simple, local gatherings, places where people came to sell their handmade goods, their fresh produce. But over time, they've grown into something much larger, something that draws both locals and tourists alike. The market is more than just a place of commerce. It's where Bangkok's history, its cultural diversity, and its traditions come together. As I walk through the fading lights, I can almost feel the weight of those traditions, passed down through the generations. It makes me think, what is it about these markets that draws people in, night after night? Maybe it's the sense of community, or perhaps it's something deeper, something tied to the history of this land. To understand that, we have to look back to the roots of these night markets. Where did they begin? How have they shaped the culture of Bangkok? Night markets like the one I visited tonight are not just a modern phenomenon. They are deeply intertwined with Thailand's history, dating back hundreds of years. Originally, they began as informal gatherings near rivers or temples. Farmers and craftsmen would bring their goods to sell, and locals would come to trade or simply to socialize. These markets were, and still are, vital to the fabric of Thai society. They represent a space where community, commerce, and culture converge. As Bangkok grew, so too did the markets. In the early 20th century, as the city became a bustling hub of trade, the night markets began to reflect the diversity of the people living here. They became more than just places to buy and sell, they became cultural melting pots. As I walked through the market earlier, I could see this diversity firsthand. Each stall tells a different story, each vendor coming from a different part of the city, or even the country. And yet, they all come together, creating something uniquely Thai. The history of these night markets, stretching back centuries, is not just something abstract. It's alive here, in the very fabric of the market. You can feel it in the way people move, the way vendors interact with customers. It's more than just commerce. It's a reflection of community, of identity. But beyond the history and culture, there's something about the market itself that draws you in the experience. As I step back into the heart of the market, the air is thick with the scent of grilled meats, fried dough, and sweet coconut. It's the kind of smell that stays with you long after you've left. The soundscape here is just as rich. The crackle of oil in frying pans, the soft murmur of conversations, the occasional burst of laughter. It all blends together, creating a symphony of the market. Everywhere I look, there's something happening. Vendors are moving quickly, their hands a blur as they prepare food, handle money, or chat with customers. The lights from the stalls flicker, casting warm golden hues over the crowds. I stop at one stall, drawn by the vibrant colors of the fruits on display. There are mangoes, papayas, dragon fruits, all glowing under the soft glow of the hanging lights. The vendor, an older woman with silver hair tied back in a neat bun, smiles as she slices a piece of ripe mango for me to try. It's sweet, juicy, and the flavor explodes in my mouth. As I eat, I take in the sights around me. People are everywhere, moving in a slow, relaxed rhythm. Some are standing in line at food stalls, others are browsing the various trinkets and handmade goods on display. It feels like the market has its own pulse, a heartbeat that everyone follows. The lights above me flicker as the night deepens. The market takes on a new energy as the later hours roll in. There's a kind of magic in the air now. I move through the narrow pathways, brushing past people carrying skewers of grilled meat, bowls of steaming noodles. The warmth from the food stalls radiates outward, wrapping around me like a comforting blanket. The deeper I go, the more I feel like I'm stepping into another world. Here, the air is thick with incense from the small shrines that dot the edges of the market. The smell mixes with the spices from the food stalls, creating a heady blend of aromas that is both intoxicating and grounding. I stop again, this time at a small stall selling handmade jewelry. Each piece is unique, reflecting the craftsmanship of the woman behind the counter. She smiles, nodding as I admire the delicate work. There's something so intimate about this moment. The sounds, the smells, the textures, it all blends together, creating an experience that feels deeply personal. As I walk away from the jewelry stall, I can't help but feel a sense of wonder. This market, this night, is so much more than just a place to buy things. It's a place where life happens, where the past and present meet, where culture, community, and commerce blend into one. As I walk away from the market, the sounds and scents begin to fade, but the experience lingers. I realize that this place isn't just a market. It's a living, breathing story that unfolds every night. And every person, every vendor, every customer is a part of that story. As I reflect on my time at the night market, I'm struck by how much more there is beneath the surface. It's not just the vibrant food stalls, the colorful trinkets, or the bustling energy that make this place special. It's the people. Each woman I met tonight, Pim, Rachini, and Anong, carried with them their own history, their own dreams, and their own connection to this market. For Pim, this market became her second home, a place where she could take on her family's legacy. For Rachini, the market is a constant in a life that has seen change and loss. And for Anong, it's a stepping stone, a way to fuel her ambitions as she dreams of becoming a designer. Each of these women reflects a different part of what this market represents. A place of tradition, a place of resilience, a place of dreams. But beyond that, the market itself is a reflection of Bangkok. It's a place where history and modernity intersect, where cultures mix, and where people from all walks of life come together. It's more than just a market, it's a living part of the city's heartbeat. As I leave, I feel a sense of gratitude for the chance to witness these stories, to see the strength and beauty that exists within this market. And I realize that this night market, like so many others across Thailand, is not just a place to buy or sell, it's a place where life happens. So next time you visit a market like this, take a moment to pause. Look beyond the food and the goods for sale. Listen to the stories. Because in every market there's a heartbeat, and it's the people who make it beat. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I hope you'll carry these stories with you, just as I will. Until next time.